All right. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for jumping on this call. This is going to be a health call about ways you can get better nutrition into your lives. And we all know that, we've heard it since day dot from our parents, right? You are what you eat, donut in, donut out kind of thing. But I know for me, I never really took a hell of a lot of notice or knowledge about what that actually meant until I really, really needed to. And I hit a massive point in my life that I'll tell you about that. I really needed to look at my whole approach to how I was living. And the first thing that I knew to try and sort out, knowing that my health is 80% nutrition, was what I was putting in my mouth. And so I want to talk to you about what I've learned are 5 fundamental key principles of a way of living that can nutritionally, holistically improve your life. And from using these principles, you will receive mental clarity. You'll have the fog lifted from your brain. You'll detox your body. You probably will shift some weight, gain lean muscle, have more energy, and perform better at the gym if that's a goal of yours. And at the end, this calls in 2 parts. The main part, or the big part, I suppose, is the convenient nutritional side of getting fueling our body right and getting the best out of our bodies, because I do know from using these principles that people really do not know how good they are supposed to feel. And then the second part of the call is about an opportunity to earn an income online. So if that's not a part of like why you're here tonight, feel free to log off. That is totally cool. I know people are starting to become more open to different options on how to earn online or how to bring in an extra form of income into their household. So I want to give you guys the opportunity to learn a way that maybe might help you and your family. So a little bit about me. My name is Anna, and I'm a mum of 2 little preschoolers. And my son, Jed, is the big reason in my life that I decided and needed to make a huge shift. When I've always been quite an upbeat, positive person and had a lot of energy. People were like, oh my God, where do you get all your energy from? And then when I became a mum, a big piece of me kind of shut down. And I was just emotionally and physically exhausted. I didn't sleep very well during my last trimester. I had a lot of issues. And then when Jed was born, it was a totally different thing. And I know that there's mums on this call. A lot of you can relate that when you become a mum, you have to kind of find your way again. And I kind of lost a little bit of myself. I wasn't Anna anymore. I was Jed's mum. And from having, I just have to admit another person into the call. Admit. Sorry, guys. Karen, are you on? Oh, yes, she's on. Cool. Hi, Karen. So I really, really suffered from a lot of bad sleeping. I couldn't get to sleep at night. I struggled to get to sleep. I struggled to stay asleep. So when I managed to get into a sleep mode, I would wake up and then be up all the night. I remember crying a lot, and I remember being actually frightened to go to bed. And so a person told me about a nutritional system that I gave a go, and I've learned more about the system and more about these products, and I implemented them into my life, and everything shifted. I got Anna back, I got my sparkle back, I got sleep, my positivity came back because I had sleep, I felt better, I lost 6 kilos, and I wasn't afraid to become a mum again. Before that, I genuinely was, because I remember thinking, if I can't figure this out, then I can't stretch myself to be a mum to 2 children. So once I got my sleep back, I got everything back. and sleep is a major part. We all know that, right? So the 5 fundamental key principles that I want to talk to you about is protein pacing, intermittent fasting, adaptogens, nutrient density, and convenience. So I'm going to show you what they all are and why you might want to put them into your life, into your routine, into your diet or supermarket shop to improve your life in some form. Oops. Okay. So while I'm talking tonight, I really want you to just think about yourself, because you've come on this call to really learn something. And I really want you to just stop and really think, as I'm yabbling on to you, how can this improve me and what am I actually looking for here? So the first thing is nutrient density. Okay. So we get told if we wanted to shift some weight, I mean, I know I was brought, like, have known this. If you wanted to shift some weight, you have to cut back the volume of your food, or, lower the portions, or count calories, basically. However, now if you cut your calories majorly, you are potentially cutting out your nutrition as well. And we need minerals more than we realize. And minerals are they are involved in nearly every process of our body, and they need to be in all of our foods. So when you cut back on food, you cut back on nutrition. So when we do that, I know I have done that before. I got very grumpy, irritable, and snappy, and craved more than anything. So I would quit and start another diet again on Monday. So what we need is a vehicle to fuel our body up with nutrition that is convenient as well. So convenient is one of the principles I'll talk to you about next, soon. The other one is protein pacing. So protein is our building blocks of our body. Women especially need a lot of protein, especially if they are post-menopausal. Protein pacing is where you eat smaller amounts of protein, like your daily amount, throughout the day. I know I was brought up on Weet-Bix and toast for breakfast, never scrambled eggs. So protein fuels our body, builds lean muscle, keeps you fuller for longer, and helps with weight loss. Protein is crucial and important to your diet, and I know that a lot of people aren't eating enough of it. The other one is intermittent fasting. Has anyone heard of intermittent fasting and learned about it, tried it? Yeah, it's kind of like a bit of a buzzword at the moment. A lot of people are doing it. There's the 5-2 diet. There's the like just don't eat for a day. I think it's got an actual name, but I don't remember what it is. But it's been around for hundreds and thousands of years. Okay, so fortunately, since people have been fasting for a very, very long time, different cultures and different religions do it, there's a huge amount of medical research behind the benefits of intermittent fasting. If you were to Google benefits of intermittent fasting, all these medical journals and research will come up about what it does for your body. It releases or increases the human growth hormone, which is rejuvenating your body. It's helping your gut heal, and it helps with weight loss, and it helps with detox. Every week I intermittently fast, and I love it. I love the feeling afterwards. I do get quite tired on my fasting days, and sometimes I can get a headache, and that's my body detoxing from the environmental toxins or the toxins in the food that I eat, and it's releasing the fat in our fat cells as well. So it's a holistic wellness approach to a weekly routine. So I just use it as a tool as well. Sometimes if I've overindulged or I've gone hard on the buffet, so to speak, an intermittent fasting day resets me. And it really helps with my digestion, resetting my digestion. I know if I've been eating badly or I haven't been looking after myself, having a fasting day I'm back and reset. It sets us at a more homeostatic state. Okay. The other principle I want to talk about is adaptogens. So this is my favorite thing ever, of what I use every day. And I told you how I really struggle with sleep, and it was just stress. My hormones were all out of whack. I was overthinking, and it was adaptogens that won me over. So what adaptogens are little enzymes that come from plants, okay? So they are found in the depths of Siberia, and they're originally found there. And what they do is they worked with the plant to adapt it to harsh environments, to climate change, okay? So they adapt to what your body needs. So me, I really needed sleep. When it was coming into nighttime, I was unwinding for the evening, brushing my teeth, all that stuff. I would have a shot of adaptogens, and I went to sleep, stayed asleep, and woke up like I had sleep. It helps your body manage stress, physical stress and mental stress. Very, very powerful. And stress, we've all got that in our lives. So if we can find a way or a tool to manage our stress, then it's going to affect so many more elements in our life. Okay. And convenience. Who here just opens the fridge or the cupboard and doesn't see something they can whip up in 3 minutes and grab some muesli bar, or I don't know, goes to the Burger King? You know, like if you go to the service station, there's food everywhere, and it's something you can grab. If you go to the supermarket, there's generally food everywhere that you can just put in your mouth straight away. And that's where living in a high pace of life, not right now, but we are not eating good food. And the biggest reason why we are not is because of convenience. We want something quick and easy. I don't like meal prep. I don't really like being in the kitchen, especially with 2 little preschoolers under my feet. And I'm like, just get this out. Here's some spaghetti out of a Waddy's tin. You know, like convenience is a big thing. I love the convenient side of my routine because I can have breakfast whipped up in 3 minutes. So good. So we all need these principles. Now, I want to show you guys a quick little video. And then we're going to hear from my friend Zola, who's a nutritionalist, and she's going to show you, well, just share with you her nutrition story and why she chose to use these principles into her life as well, and what she's got out of it. So we all need these components, right? Now you can go out there and you can Google and research and talk to a nutritionalist and go to a naturopath and find these different ways of bringing this into your life to improve your wellness and nutritionally. So from using these 5 things, you're going to get results. You're going to have better sleep. You're going to have less stress. You're going to build some lean muscle. You're going to probably lose some weight if your body needs to lose some weight. And you're going to have more energy, if I haven't said that already. Okay, so you can go out there and do that. It's fine. But we have I have a system that I use every single day, and I have been using it for 3 years, and I will continue forever because all those principles are already sorted out for me, and it's all in one stop shop. Okay, so what it is called is Isagenix. And I'd never heard of Isagenix until 3 years ago, 4 years ago. No, 3 years ago, 3.5. And I was overwhelmed with the nutritional quality of these products. And I'm not any skilled sort of nutritionist, but when I did some research and some Googling and spoke to quite a few people about this system, I was overwhelmed. And I was so impressed that you can get it delivered to your door as well. When it came to my door, I was scared. To put it bluntly, but I was like, you know what, I need to make a change. I was desperate, and I had one of those if it moments where I needed to do something, and I was thinking it was going to be disgusting and I was going to die on the cleanse days, but every single time I was well, every time I ate something or every time I tried something new, I was more and more pleasantly surprised. I admit I did not like the taste of the shakes when I first started, and I've learned now that that's quite common. Most of the time, a lot of the time, we can be quite acidic, and the isogenic system really focuses on detoxing you. Alkalizing you. So I didn't like the taste of the shakes. The cleanse day was hard, but I got through it, and now I do it weekly. So it's just become part of my routine, my life. But it hasn't taken over my life. That's what I really enjoy about it. So I want to play a short video, and it just really shows you how with isogenics, these 5 principles come into it. Okay. Let me see if I can find it. I should have had it all ready up. Okay. It's 3 minutes, so not long.
Can you guys hear that? So you've heard about shake days. You've heard about cleanse days. You might have even heard about Ionix. You might be wondering, is this for me? Or if you just started, you might be wondering, why do I feel so good? And while I could go on and on about all of the science that goes into our products, it really boils down to this: the best of Western nutrition, protein pacing, intermittent fasting, and good overall nutrition support, and ancient Eastern wisdom. Adaptogens and herbs that have been used for centuries in traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, and naturopathy. The best of what nature and science has to offer, kind of like our secret sauce. Protein pacing aims to deliver 20 to 40 grams of protein at each meal, distributed evenly throughout the day, which is key for muscle preservation, weight loss, and performance. Our Isoline shakes make protein pacing easy, complete with 24 to 36 grams of the highest quality protein and the perfect balance of macro and micronutrients sourced from whole foods. And what's more, protein pacing has been shown to increase calories burned and improve body composition regardless of dieting. So what does that mean for you? You can build muscle and burn fat without severely restricting calories. You might have heard about intermittent fasting, but fasting with nutrition support can make all the difference. And that's what Isagenix Cleanse Days are all about. Since 2002, Cleanse Days have been an integral part of our wellbeing system. Today, science can explain the benefits of fasting and why it's been practiced for centuries in many cultural traditions. For many of us, we just feel good after a cleanse day, and here's why. Intermittent fasting has now been shown to improve body composition, and that includes preserving muscle mass and burning more fat, better manage our appetite, increase mental clarity, and promote autophagy, which is our body's natural cellular cleansing process. With all of these benefits, it's no wonder that we feel so good after a cleanse day. By providing the right nutrition support during an intermittent fast, we can support our natural detoxification processes to work at the most optimal level. This can have a huge impact on how well your body can remove impurities from where they shouldn't be. And last but not least, adaptogens. As their name suggests, help us to better adapt to physical and mental stress. They're derived from plants that actually thrive in harsh environments and can have similar benefits for us. Adaptogens were first studied in the 70s by scientists Nikolai Lazarev and Israel Bretman. They found that having these herbs daily supported the body's functions under stress, improved mental and physical performance, and even reduced fatigue. And this is why we include adaptogens in many of our products. Ashwagandha, Siberian ginseng, rhodiola, wolfberry, and schizandra are just some of the adaptogens found in products like Ionix Supreme, Cleanse for Life, E+, and Isogenesis. So put it all together and here's what you get: healthy, sustainable weight loss, nourishing detoxification support, and more energy and vitality. The science of good health delivered in a simple, personalized system straight to your door.
Right. So that just gives you a more scientific kind of holistic approach to the isogenic system. Now where was I? I close off that. Okay, so with the isogenic system as well, you get an online shopping center, a business if you choose to, as well as support, coaching, Facebook pages, and if at the end of it, once you've bought these products, got all that, on day 28, if you do not get results with whatever you're looking for, you get your money back. So those are the 5 key principles that I would love for you to learn and implement into your life. And for me, honestly, it would be, if I was to do that, it would be like, I just want to say that it's okay that you don't have to go out and do it all. Like, just change something. Bring in a fasting day into your life and see how you go. Google it if you don't want to use isogenics. Go to your naturopath when you can and get a herbal tonic with adaptogens in it. Okay, just try it and see how you feel. So now I want to hear from, I'm going to introduce my friend Zola, who is one of my favorite humans in the world, and she has been an incredible inspiration into my life, and she has just completed a full Ironman as well, which I followed her on the app the whole day, and it really blew me away, the distance an Ironman is. Like, holy moly. So Zola is a nutritionalist. She helps people change their diet and improve their health, and she uses an isogenic system. So Zola, can you share with us your background and why, with your knowledge and experience, why you've chosen to use isogenics?
Hey, yeah, thanks, Anna. Okay, so my story is very similar to how Anna described her life. But we started for the same reasons. Basically, I'm a nutritionist. I went to university, got my degree, and then I worked full-time in a clinic. That was great. And then I went and had children, and I decided to have them very close together, thinking that would be really enjoyable. But what actually happened was I just got stung with postnatal depression and sleep insomnia problems. And I was just a mess because I couldn't get to sleep, couldn't stay asleep. All the stuff Anna described, like being too scared to go to sleep, to go to bed, was just so much drama. It never used to be an issue, so it was all very new, and I didn't know how to fix it. And I was eating well. So Anna wasn't eating well throughout her time of experiencing the same thing, but I was. So I was practicing what I preached. I would make myself these elaborate, beautiful meals to try and actually make sure my body was getting everything it needed. And I was missing something, and I couldn't figure it out. Someone had approached me about isogenics, but I shut it down pretty quick because, I was a whole food person, and that's all I would consider, and I wouldn't consider anything other than that. And I guess I just got to a point where I was more desperate. I'd also at this time seen my GP, and I had sleeping tablets. So that was my secret shame. I would be this super healthy person, but relying on sleeping tablets. And that, again, had its own issues because every time I took one, I then got anxious, thinking I'm now going to rely on these forever, and am I ever going to get out of this? And it just created all this fear. So I really was quite stuck. And the other thing that I was doing was making these elaborate meals, which sounds lovely, sounds luxurious, but the same thing as Anna described, I always had a kid on my hip, one around my leg, and the other one was in the lounge barking orders, probably wanting spaghetti out of a can or a drink of water or whatever, just this constant barrage of like, mom, mom, mom. And making these meals there was no joy. I hated the kitchen. I hated having to make myself food. I hated having to do my protein pacing. I hated having to make sure I had 25 grams of protein per meal, enough fiber, enough greenery, enough red, orange, yellow vegetables to make sure that I was getting in all of my macronutrients and my micronutrients, my trace elements, my antioxidants, and my minerals. I had to make sure I was getting in those for every single meal. And it just did my head in. These meals I was making would take around 20 to 35 minutes. The cost was huge. I calculated it. The cheapest I could get it was to $9.
Wow.
And it was sort of started at $9 and would go up. I costed it all out, and it drove me crazy. And I just reached out to someone who did Isagenix because I just wanted convenience. I was so sick of buying all this groceries, making these big meals and preparing them. It drove me nuts. So anyway, I swapped out my breakfast and my lunch for some shakes, and I had no expectations, none, because all I wanted was convenience. I wanted the 35 minutes for breakfast to be now 30 seconds. And I had a very low expectation. I just wanted it to be easy. And it was. I was surprised. I was like, yep, this is easy. This is good. It tastes good. Like I've had to trial a lot of protein supplements in the past because of my previous job. And I was surprised that Isagenix tasted more like melted ice cream than it did with a weird protein or artificial taste that a lot of other products would have. So that was cool. And I was shocked that I started to get, my energy didn't waver. It was still good, even though to me I thought, well, surely it's going to drop because I'm not eating my whole food, but it didn't. And then after a couple of weeks, I started experimenting with a few other products. So the product that has adaptogens in it is Guarana. It's a little herbal tonic, and I started using that, and I couldn't believe and I couldn't falter the fact that my body felt different, and that I was actually starting to sleep and get to sleep and not having to use sleeping tablets. And I was, I guess, a little bit in denial. I just would say, oh no, I'm just really tired now. That's why I'm sleeping. Because prior to saying yes to Isagenix, I actually said no for a very long time, and also told lots of other people not to do it because that's how much I didn't think it was a viable way to be healthy. So I really did have to undo all that skeptical thinking. And after 3 weeks, I couldn't deny it anymore. I felt different. I was sleeping better. I couldn't believe my energy was, if anything, coming up rather than going down. And it filled the nutritional gaps that I had. So even though I was eating super healthy, I was missing something. And still to this day, I don't know what it is. I mean, it's probably adaptogens and a few trace elements and bits and bobs through there. Probably stuff I don't even know the names of myself, even though I'm a nutritionist. But there were gaps there. So I was like, heck, if I had gaps and I was doing everything right according to my own textbook, that I'm taught, and what I teach people, then heck, 99% of the population is going to be in the same spot and needing convenience and needing just something like take the guesswork out of it and show you what to do. So I've been using the products now for nearly 3 years. Every day I use them. I have at least one shake a day. I use Ionix every day, and I use the sports products, a lot. doing an Ironman, I really turned over a lot of the sports products, and they were great. So it really helped me get through that 14 hours of absolute slog that I put myself through a few weeks back.
Zola, you're amazing. I honestly still get shivers when I hear your story, like what you had in your brain and what you had to like really shift to accept, like just to accept Isagenix and go, okay, this is actually pretty good. Like, and the fact that you had no expectation, you just thought you'll feel no different. It's just convenient nutrition. And then you started to, like, your energy didn't waver. Yeah, so cool. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you sharing. You're awesome.
No worries.
14 hours. Oh my God. Okay, what's next? I think we're going to talk about some money now. So if this is not of interest to you, it's all good. Just log off. But if you want to learn, or just if you're open-minded, just stay and check it out. So I'm going to talk to you about a way you can bring in some extra income into your household, and how much you earn depends on you. So a quick disclaimer. And so it depends on what you want is the first question. How much do you want to come into your life? Is it $50? Is it $200? Is it $2,000? So what you get out is what you put in. It does take time and effort and energy and some learning. And then I'm going to have Rebecca share her story about how she has brought this into her life and how it's impacted her life financially. And then I've got a few other stories of some regular Kiwis and some regular Aussies as well. And yeah, I'm going to show you a bit about how it works and leave the ball in your court whether you want to learn more after that. So first of all, I just want to tick your brain over about different ways you can earn an income. So we've got the traditional employment, right? You go to a job, you spend time and effort, you get paid an income, and then you go back and do it again and again and again, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, spend it, Monday, Tuesday. Okay, so it's a give and take thing. You can invest money, you can bring in, so many people are doing extra things these days. I know that it's harder. I know it's harder to get ahead financially more than it was when my parents bought a house or started having a family. So it's not uncommon for families to have different sources of income come into their lives, like Airbnb or doing an Ubering or having a craft store or having a coffee shop or a coffee cart or something like that. However, all of these things need a startup, or all of these things need money and time, or both. Okay, so you need to spend time to get to work, go to work. You are paid what you earn, kind of thing. Your income's capped, blah blah blah. Airbnb, you need to set it up, you need to advertise, you need to bring people in. They pay and give you some money, and then they leave. Okay, so these are different ways. There's many more on how to earn an extra bit of income. Okay, so there's also other options on how to make your money work for you. So I know I was brought up in the story of get a job, work 40 hours a week, get paid some money, spend some money, save some money, and put some money on a mortgage. And that's what we are doing right now. We have a mortgage and we're going to pay it off, well, a little bit less time now, but when we first started out, it was 26 years to pay our mortgage off, and it's a standard 3-bedroom home. And once we've done that, that will cost about $500,000. We will probably earn an income of $400 a week after 26 years it was for us. There's shares. You can just invest, put money into savings, save up $500,000, get some interest on that. That will give you $200 a week. And the average Kiwi would take about 25 years to save up $500,000. And then there's the new way. Okay, so this is a way to make money work for you, and earn a leveraged income. So what it is called is network marketing. Okay, so Isagenix has a compensation plan that allows people to earn an income. They do not have to do it to eat Isagenix, is what I want to make very clear. I know some people want to use the product, but they feel like they have to sell it to eat it. That's not true. What I enjoy about Isagenix is everything is optional. So it's great that you're here to learn, but at the end of this call, if this isn't for you, totally fine. I just commend you on being here and learning something. So why would you choose to have an Isagenix business or use it as a vehicle to get some more income into your life? Well, there's a few things. Isagenix is a global business. Okay, so I earn an income of a person who buys product in America and Spain. I'm not geographically restricted by where my business is. So if you were a hairdresser or a mechanic, people aren't going to drive 200k to go to you because you're the best hairdresser. Okay, so your customers are only in a really geographical area. With Isagenix, it's everywhere. The demand will not change. Everybody is going to need more and more nutrition. Obesity rates are increasing. People are getting busier and busier, and it's a online purchasing place as well. Okay, so you can just place an order and it will get delivered to your door. And yes, it's still going at the moment. Very, very unique products. So I have heard this many times that somebody has tried or gone to their naturopath and they've been given these adaptogenic tonic drinks and it costs 6 times as much and doesn't work as much or doesn't have as many adaptogens in it. You cannot make an Isagenix shake for the same cost than you can with using Isagenix. You cannot duplicate Isagenix products. Isagenix shake is about $4.40, I think. Low labor requirements. You don't have to, you know, employ anybody to run this business. Low overheads, low investment. When you buy into buying your pack of food, you eat the food and you get a business. There's no investment. People have to invest into a business. $500,000, $1 million, $2 million. You do not have to invest a lot to get into Isagenix. My investment when I first started was $250. And then I had the global business and I was like, didn't know what to do with that. You get paid every Monday. Every single Monday, money comes into my bank account. It's portable. I have built an Isagenix organization while breastfeeding at 2 a.m. I have done a bit of work. You know, you can do it in the coffee shop down the road. It's a portable business you can take everywhere. You get to do it in your own time. So how much effort you put in is how much result you get out of it. Okay. So I built my organization within 3 years, but I've been pregnant or breastfeeding for a majority of it. Okay. So I've grown it amongst my family growing too. We have proven systems that help the everyday person earn an income. And I'll show you some stories of normal people that come from totally different backgrounds. I come from a vet nursing and zookeeping background. I have no previous sales skills or business skills or nutritional skills, and I've been able to succeed with Isagenix. Tax benefits, you can write off lots of stuff, and time leverage. So this is where I really want to show you something that when it got drawn out for me was just, I couldn't believe it. So what leveraging means is where you earn off other people working basically, or other people earning it, an income as well. So, Bex, you're after that. I'm going to stop my video. I think that's better. Speaker view. Oh no, exit full screen. Okay. Right, I'm going to go old school because this is the only way I know how to draw it out. And I really want you guys to grasp this and really see the potential here. So to give you guys a little bit about me on the financial side with Isagenix, just to help you out a little bit. As I said, no previous sales skills, have just really learned putting one foot in front of the other, taking advice from different people, figuring it out as I go. And believe me, it has been challenging. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and tell you it's all sunshine and rainbows, but it's been freaking worth it. So what it's done for us financially is that it's brought me home from work. So after 3 years, I do not have to return to work. I go to work twice a week as a gardener because I enjoy pulling weeds and it gives me a bit of therapy, but I don't financially have to go. It just fills my cup. And it has allowed me to give back. So I have helped my in-laws out redecorating their bathroom, which I heard about for years and years about how hideous their bathroom was. And I'm like, let's help them out a little bit. I've been able to help animal charities. And the big thing for us really has been that it's taken 10 years off our mortgage. So when I got told that from the mortgage people, New Zealand Home Loans, I just was in shock. And to have a mortgage of 26 years New Zealand Home Loans took off quite a lot too. So go with them. It's been incredible, and I'm so grateful that I've given it a go. And this is how it works, okay? So there's a basic thing that you may get shown one day called You Share, They Share, but I just really want to take it one step deeper and really show you the power of this. Okay, so the only way I easily know how to explain it is to show you little pieces of my organization, okay? So when I first got started on Isagenix, a girl called Gabby got me started, okay? Here I am, all right? Anna. And when that happened, a big fat computer in the sky split my business in half, all right? and it gave me a left side and a right side. Now, every single time I place an order of a certain amount of products, every product is given points, and those points go into my account. And when they accumulate to a certain amount of points, I get paid cash. And so when I help other people get started, they also earn those points and I earn those points. So this is how it works. I got started, got great results. My friend Tracy saw me. She said, "What are you doing? You look sparkly and thin." And I said, "Oh, this shake stuff." And I reluctantly got her started because I was still freaking out about it all then. So her name is Tracy. Tracy is a primary school teacher, run down, ruined, couldn't sleep, didn't feel comfortable in her body, early 20s, hated her job, was ready, had her resignation letter written out, okay? She got started on Isagenix, felt amazing, got great sleep, and she did a post on Facebook, and her friend, a family friend called Diane up in Nelson got started. Diane went on a Kentucky tour in Europe, found a friend on the tour called Lindley. Lindley is from Kaikoura. Lindley got started. And then along the way, Lindley has enrolled some people. Okay, so that's my left side. Over here is my right side. I went to playgroup, had my Cleanse for Life drink. Somebody said, "Are you doing Isagenix?" I said, "Yes, I want to get started." Her name's Lisa. Lisa enrolled her neighbor Trudy. Trudy got her friend Kylie started from Oamaru. Kylie got Lisa started, and Lisa has enrolled some people. Got it, right? So when Joe down here places an order of 100 points, Joe gets 100 points into her account, not her bank account, into her Isagenix online shopping account, okay? Joe gets 100 points. Lisa gets 100 points. Kylie gets 100 points. Trudy gets 100 points. Lisa gets 100 points. Anna gets 100 points. Gabby gets 100 points. Blah, blah, blah. It all goes up, okay? Over here, Dave down here, when he places an order, Dave gets of 100 points or 200 points, okay? 200 points. Dave gets 100 points. Margaret gets 200 points. Lindley gets 200 points. Diane gets 200 points. Who's that? Tracy gets 200 points. Anna gets 200 points. You get the picture, right? Everybody gets those 200 points just because Dave down here placed an order. Just because Dave placed an order, everyone gets 200 points. And they all accumulate in their accounts. And when they accumulate in my account, and I get 600 points here and 300 points here, I get given what is known as a cycle. And a cycle is $55 US. $55 US get puts into my bank account. And then what's left over, if there's 600 points still hanging around here, it will wait to be added to another cycle. 600 and 300 collectively makes a cycle. So I can cycle 10, 15 times a week, okay? And that replaced my income. Now, it's not something that happens overnight. It takes work, time, and effort. But in 3 years, to be able to achieve what I've achieved without knowing what I'm doing, I'm really excited about what the next 3 years is going to be like with knowing a little bit more of what I'm doing. So 6 years, it's not really that long, is it? To already have replaced my full-time income, imagine doubling that after 6 years. And to know that you can earn an income of people below you and it doesn't stop and it does not dilute. There's people in my organization that I earn from that I have never met. I didn't know any of these people except for Tracy when I got started. Now, not all these people have enrolled people, but not all of them share the products or talk about Isagenix, and that's totally cool. They don't have to. Nobody forces you to do anything here. So amongst all these people are many more people, just customers, eating the shakes, loving the Cleanse for Life, sleeping better, blah, blah, blah. So that's a really, I really, once I learned that, I know Bex, once you learned that, and I know Zola, once you learned that, it's like, what? It's just mental. And so, and what's crazy is that I've got Ross, he's in my team, he's in Spain, I enrolled him. People here, they don't know who he is, but they earn from him. It's just people telling people. It's pretty cool. So next up, hopefully that has sunk in a little bit. I want to share, hand you over to Rebecca. So Rebecca has been a great mentor to me. I will never forget the day I had one of my breakdowns and reached out to Bex, and she was like, get on a Zoom call now. And I hardly knew her, and she just gave me the biggest pep talk, and I'm so grateful, because maybe I would have quit that day. I don't know. So Bex is doing very well. She's actually going to Canada, Whistler, sometime this year, with being one of the only Kiwis out of Isagenix to go, her and one other another couple. It's very, very, very cool. So Bex, I'll shut up and I will go back to sharing my screen, and I will let you take it away.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Oh, good. Oh, that's awesome. Because it's been a little bit quieter. I'm just up at in the Coromandel, so just let me know if you can't hear. Thank you so much for having me on the call. Anna, you've done such a good job. I love listening to you. But I hope everybody's well and, you know, surviving the lockdown. And I feel really privileged to just share a little bit about my journey with Isagenix, because it's been pretty phenomenal. You don't often stop and reflect, but the last 6 years for me have been just incredible. So I was formerly a traditional business owner. I'm a florist by trade, so I did that for like 2 decades. I love it. And yeah, I always knew from a young age that I wanted to be in business for myself. So I went off and did that. But I ended up closing my business down. Long story short, when the recession hit a wee while back, I ended up walking away from my business that I'd set up from scratch. And yeah, it was pretty tough times. Like, it was just like this whole big dream that I'd built. And so walking away from that, I was really just at a crossroads in my life. And I was like, what am I going to do now? I was pretty optimistic. I mean, at the end of the day, I wasn't too downtrodden, but I was really at a crossroads wondering, what am I going to do next with my life? So I actually found Isagenix at a really transitional time in my life. And I just look back now and think, wow, it was such beautiful timing, because I started for the products, you know, not knowing that there was even a business opportunity attached. I truly just wanted to lose some weight. That was it. It was really simple, my reasons for starting, because along with the closing of my business, I endured a lot of stress. It was just such a crazy time, and I was really run down. I'd put on a bit of weight, and I was just feeling so disconnected, I guess, with who I was. I'd stopped, you know, socializing. I was staying in a lot. I'd really kind of just lost control of, you know, my life in a sense. So I'd watched a few girlfriends online doing this shake diet. And so I really just saw results, you know, that really made me think, wow, whatever this product is, I've got to get my hands on it. And I brought my first pack. So it's actually nearly 6 years ago in June. So I can't believe it's that long ago, but I had an amazing product experience. In my first month, I released 7 kilo. And I've got the kind of body where I struggle to even lose 1 kilo, let alone keep it off. I don't know, I've got some kind of weird constitution, but, you know, I know how to work out. I know how to eat relatively well. But looking back now, I realized I was just really undernourished. I was surviving on coffee, eating a lot of sweet stuff. And I think my body had just become really acidic because of all the stress. So it worked. It just really worked. And what started as a weight loss journey actually evolved into so much more. Like, I just felt emotionally connected to myself once more. And I hadn't felt that for years, because I was just in this massive, like, adrenally charged tunnel of running my business and, you know, managing staff and all the things that go along with, you know, running a traditional business. And women in general, I think we're just constantly multitasking, and you don't really stop and, you know, do the self-love enough. So yeah, I love the product. And by, literally so organically, girlfriends just started coming out of the woodwork and asking me, you know, what are you doing? I remember I went to a party and I was just sitting there with my glass of wine, and someone was like, what is different about you? You're like glowing, you seem so content. And that was really nice to hear, actually. Like, I've never forgotten that night, because I went home feeling so good, like feeling myself again. Anyway, friends wanted in. It started just so simply, just joining people through my little online site. But the first customer I joined was actually in America. She was my cousin. And she was just following, you know, I was putting up a couple of posts on Facebook because I just felt good. I wanted to share it with people, because I thought there's got to be loads of women out there that would love to know about this. You know, if it's changed my life like this, surely, like, people are slogging it out in the gym, and, you know, that's cool. I love to work out too. But where we're getting it so wrong is in our nutrition. And, you know, I've just learned so much about that along this journey. But eventually, I began to grow momentum in my business. I just became more and more passionate about the products, and people were really starting to join. And then the people I was joining, they were sharing it. And I started to just grow this team. And I started to receive intermittent paychecks from the company showing up in my bank account. Not a lot, you know, I've got to admit, for the first 2 years, it was very slow going. But I wasn't, you know, I sort of got a job. I was working again. I was dairy farming. So I was just doing Isagenix in the pockets of my time, like messaging in bed at night, messaging under the table. It was addictive. I just loved it. Like, I really was sinking my teeth in. I love people. So having all these conversations with people and just getting to know them, building relationships. And yeah, I mean, fast forward 6 years. So I've grown an amazing team, a lot like Zola and Anna. My customers are all over the world, which is just, I just really see this as such an incredible opportunity, because I really believe, and, you know, the situation we're in right now is really shedding light on that. You know, I didn't even know what residual income was when I came into this. I'd heard about it, but I didn't realize that you could actually earn money while you sleep. And, you know, because of conversations I had 6 years ago, I'm still being financially rewarded for them years down the track. It's just mind-blowing. So for me, it's meant just an incredible life. It really has. Like, I've met the most phenomenal people. I mean, Anna, Zola, sometimes I just think the community behind Isagenix is the best. You just meet so many incredible people, and everyone's on the same page. They want to make a positive impact, you know, in the world, which I think is really cool. But it's meant so much for me. Lots of travel to far-flung countries. It's been insane. I actually just get shivers thinking about where it's leading in the future, to think that I've just in 5 short years or 6 years, how far I've come. And I think about the next 6 years and just, you know, how many people are really looking for this but don't know it yet. But yeah, financially, it's just been so rewarding. Every Monday for the last, 4 or 5 years, I've received this paycheck without fail. And it just grows and grows. I think my team, there's about 2,000 people in my immediate organisation now. And a lot like Anna mentioned, you know, not all of them share this. A lot of them are simply customers that love the products and buy them repeatedly, because it really works. And that's so powerful, because look at the world around us. You know, health statistics are so distressing, especially here in New Zealand. So it's like the perfect storm. We've got this amazing superfood nutrition and this huge burgeoning health problem. So, you know, that together paired with a phenomenal, compensation plan. It's just a wild, wild opportunity. So I've done all sorts of cool things financially. At the moment, I've got my eye on some land. I'm actually up in the Coromandel right now at our holiday home during the lockdown, and this is actually something I was able to contribute towards helping my parents purchase this property, which was mine, because we've always wanted to own, land in the Coromandel or a property. So that was a big kind of family dream that came to fruition. Just things like that. It's super cool. Sometimes I feel like I'm not driven by money as such, but however, you need money in this world to do things, to live an abundant life. It's just the way it is. But now I'm massively driven by showing other people this opportunity, whether they just want to bring in another $200 odd a week, that's cool. Or if, we've got people in our team that want to live the dream and go all out. So to do that, it means they have to impact a lot of lives. So it's just so incredible. I'm so grateful, more so now than ever, for this income, and just I'm glad that I went and looked into it for myself. Because you'll hear a lot of network marketing companies. There's some amazing ones out there. Like any industry, there's some not so good ones either, but just really do your research, and it's been a privilege to get to share tonight. Thanks, Anna.
Oh my gosh, thank you for it's an honor to have you, and seeing you shine and seeing you succeed is a huge inspiration. So thank you so much. So I want to share with you briefly, because I know we're getting on, some other really cool stories of some Kiwis and Australians that are doing really well and have done well building this business. So these guys I met in Queenstown, and I think they are so cool. So this is Amanda and Michael. Amanda was a graphic designer, and Michael owned a music shop and was also a professional poker player. And they are just cool. They know who they are, and that he loves his heavy metal, and they're obviously parents to 2 boys, and they started Isagenix 5 years ago. And before that, they had $30,000 of credit card debt. Last year, they earned $300,000 with Isagenix. So it's easy to say that they have no more debt. And just this year, they were recognized as earning $750,000 with Isagenix. So I just think they're very cool and very humble, and they know who they are. And coming from a poker player and music store guy to doing what he's doing now is pretty cool. Next, we've got Lloyd and Alicia. So they were lawyers and paralegals, been doing Isagenix for 5 years. They have now left their jobs and they do Isagenix full-time, or it's probably part-time, but earning a very good, nice income. And they're the top 25 income earners in Australia. Rob and Ria. So he was a landscaper and she was a primary school teacher. Been doing Isagenix for 5 years, and they were traveling around in their van around Australia, and now they're living it up in Bali. Now, Ria quit her job as a teacher after 8 months of doing Isagenix, so she could be by her mum's side as she was dying and just look after her and nurse her while she was passing. And then after 2 years of Isagenix, they were able to retire Rob from his job. Now, I asked for permission to share Ria's story, and she wanted me to tell you that after 8 months of Isagenix, she wouldn't recommend you quit your job. But because you need to build up a great organization to replace your income, or you need to have more abundance and grow your business. Yeah. But after 8 months, to be able to do that and be by your mum's side, I'm sure it's a decision she didn't regret. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So listen, I really, really hope that you got something out of tonight. And whether it's a way to bring in some more health into your life so you can be less stressed, less grumpy, sleep better, shift a few kilos, then I'm a happy person. If I could get every mum in New Zealand on adaptogens, I would be a happy person. Whether it's using Isagenix adaptogens or from another source, they just need to know about it. I truly believe that. And so I'm grateful and happy that you have joined us tonight. Thank you very much. And if Isagenix at the end of this isn't for you, that is totally cool. Just know it is a good vehicle to bring in those principles. And if it's not for you financially as another vehicle, that's totally cool too. I just commend you for having an open mind and clicking on the link and checking it out. I'm very grateful for that. And thank you very much to my friends Zola and Rebecca. I really appreciate you guys getting on. And if anyone's got any questions, please go to the person that invited you onto this call or sent you this link, and ask them away, and I'm sure they'll be able to help you. So yeah, good night and thank you.
Thanks, Anna.
Awesome.
Happy Easter.
Yes, happy Easter. Have fun.
Go out and eat some chocolate. I'm having too many hot cross buns myself.